Hi, I've got a nice book for you called The Big Bath House. I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. I'm actually going to start with the author's note. It gives you a little bit of a background about this book. As a child, I spent July and August in Japan at my grandmother's house. The moment I arrived, I stepped into a world of love and soaked it all in. The warm, grassy smell of tatami mats, the comforting sight of house slippers lined up by the front door, and the familiar clatter of teacups as the family gathered to greet my mother and me. My grandmother and I didn't share a common language, but we shared rituals, a sweet tooth, and a love of bathing. Every summer, we would take a trip to the neighborhood bathhouse with all my female relatives and raise the roof with our chatter and laughter. During our long soaks, I would feel the distance of a year dissolve. This story, close to my heart, was inspired by my childhood memories of Bachan, and that means grandmother. It's her short form of grandmother in Japanese. Because of the bathhouse, I grew up surrounded by naked bodies of all ages, shapes, and sizes. I saw breasts of women who had nursed many babies, large bottoms, saggy bottoms, grandmas with gentle rolls of fat. The idea that bodies should always be private and clothed wasn't the norm. And part of my hope with this story is to share and celebrate this other way of being. I love that introduction. So, without further ado, The Big Bath House by Kyo MacLear and Gracey Zhang. She is flying on the airplane across the ocean, probably from Vancouver all the way to Japan. When you get to Bachan's place, you'll forget all the time that's passed and everything that happened for you to get there. There they go. The Grandma's house. You'll tumble towards her and she'll shuffle towards you, and it'll be understood. Many beautiful things in this picture, including a nice origami here. And all the slippers and shoes and the grandmother. The wooden sandals will be lined up and waiting, and you'll know the aunties are coming. The aunties with their big stories and bigger purses. They'll rush towards you, and you'll inch towards them, and it'll be understood. My, how you've grown, they'll say. The aunties and the big purses. You'll walk down the street. Your aunties sounding like clip-clopping horses. Geta, 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 in their wooden sandals. And the warm wind will rustle through your yukata. That's like a robe that you'll wear. Until you arrive at the bathhouse. The big bathhouse. You and your grandmother there. And all the aunties and the moms and who else is going to be there? To the bathhouse that is steaming, to your cousins all beaming. With all the cousins in the bathhouse. The water will flow and the garden will grow at the big bathhouse. The birds will be fed and your clothes will be shed at the big bathhouse. Note by note, the chimes will ring, tune by tune, a voice will sing at the big bathhouse. See all them bodies there, and the bird feeders, and the garden, and the pond. But first comes washing. Bachan's stool is a throne. She is the queen of the baths. With a tall towel crown, she'll wash your hair, while the aunties scrub each other's backs, and the big bath awaits. There you are, getting all washed up with Grandma in her crown. She's washing you up. You'll do a soapy leg, can, soapy hands, soapy knees. You'll do the wooden barrel drum roll until it's time. There you bring the can up there, your cousins. They're all naked, ready to go into the big bath. Then, little by little, side by side, you, your Bachan aunties and cousins will slip into the big bath. A chorus of one long breath. Ah. Just imagine how cozy that would be. Soak it up, sink right into the tub, the steaming tub in the big bathhouse. You'll all dip your bodies, your newly sprouting gangly bodies, your saggy, shapely, jiggly bodies, your cozy, creased, ancient bodies, beautiful bodies. After the bath, your auntie's arms will open wide and you'll be wrapped up snug in a soft cloud. Soft cloud, nice warm towel. While you're waiting for Bachan and the aunties, you'll find big chairs for flopping and sweet shaved ice for slurping. Then you'll say goodbye to the bathhouse, the big bathhouse. Face flushed, you'll walk into the cool night air. All dressed again outside. Rosy cheeks. You'll walk through the quiet, glowing streets. Hush, the aunties will say. The houses are sleeping. They are so pretty when they sleep. We don't want to wake them. Going home to Bachan's house on the street. You'll reach for Bachan's hand and she'll reach for yours, and it'll be understood. Some things just go without saying. Someday you'll find the words, but for now you have this day at the big bathhouse. Here's the author's note that I read to you earlier, that I hope helped to explain what was going on there with this young girl. She has a Japanese mother and a British father, and she goes to visit her Japanese family every summer when she was a young girl. But she didn't understand Japanese. But it didn't matter, did it? Do you have a special place that you go and see your grandma, your grandpa, your aunts, your cousins, all those that you could, maybe you could tell a story about that. Anyway, I've really enjoyed reading this story to you. I think it's just a wonderful book. It was just published last year in 2021. And I hope you can find it. I found it at a library. Maybe you can find it at a bookstore. Or maybe you could just listen to this one over and over again. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.